Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap." I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white Vigors. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah. I don't like niggas, what's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan, I look and say take flight.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and Missouri, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog app. Use code MACECAM or STATS, get up to $1,000 in bonus credits with your first deposit and a free pick. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mase and Cam.
Killer was
Marlon,
good,
what
man.
Up, man. How you doing, man?
Good, man.
That's what's up. Good to see you.
Yeah, man. Good to see
You got a lot of new suits lately.
Killer, I've been in church like 50 years. Of course I got a suit.
I'm not saying maybe you just wasn't wearing them here. I've just been seeing a lot of new suits. Are you saying you wearing your church suits to work? You wearing church clothes to work? That's what you say. It's okay. I'm just asking. It's okay. I was gonna pop up on you too. You gave the dress up. I said, I'm gonna pull up on this Peachtree. I'm pulling up. I'm gonna pull up one day. You know what you gotta do though? I want to say you gotta give people, because somebody asked me about that. When you put on your page the Zoom, they don't know what the Zoom is. So when you post it, make sure you let people know the link to tune in.
I'll do that. Stadio.
Hello. I don't got another nickname today. Every day I get a new nickname. I'm like, hey. But okay, cool. So it's playoff basketball time. Y'all, it's getting real. So we're going to start with the Warriors versus the Rockets. So the Warriors beat the Rockets 95-85. Obviously, both teams scoring under 100 points. When speaking about the Rockets, Steve Kerr said they're not a typical modern NBA team. He also said it felt like 1997 out there. So Mase, do you agree with Steve Kerr's point? And then how do you feel about this matchup?
I like the way that the Rockets tried to play in the first quarter. They just fell asleep in the second quarter. And the way they're playing aggressive and they're making this a real physical series, I think their goal is to wear Stephen Curry paws down as the series goes on. Maybe at 31 yesterday, but they're looking forward to running him down. But I must say, I like this Golden State team. I like this Golden State team for a lot of reasons. They seem to be very mobile. They seem to be able to produce from every position. And it's been a long time since I've seen a Golden State team that could produce points from every position. It seems like everybody is playing on many cylinders, and this is a scary team to think that they came in seventh and they already beaten a team that's number 2 by 10 points in the first game on their home court. It's not like that we were in Golden State. We was in Houston and got it done. So I really like this. That's why I'm wearing Golden State blue, you know.
You picked the Houston Rockets to win.
I know things change, Cam.
I understand they always change. It's always on the move.
It's on the move.
Title Town's a revolving door. Title Town's a revolving door.
It's an RV, killer. It's moving. You know?
Not a problem. I just was asking. Yeah, man. Look, I actually thought this game was really good. And what happened is it's kind of like, and we're going to get to a few different games, the lack of experience showed today. They killed Golden State in the offensive rebounding. Like, Golden State played small ball the whole time, but their defensive, they had too many defensive packages paused. Like, it would look like they was playing a 1-3-1 at one time. Then it went from a 3-2. Then they was man-to-man. And it was even to the point when I'm watching the game, I'm like, yo, is Steph Curry, why is he in the paint on defense? I don't have that stat in front of me at the moment, but Houston had to have at least 25 offensive rebounds. I may be exaggerating, but it was crazy for their offensive rebounds. But the experience showed. I watched Steph after the game, post-game, and he was like, yo, he doesn't get rattled. It seemed like they came out jittery. It wasn't about jittery, he said. It's about, that every team's going to make a run. We got to think about this. Golden State in the third quarter was up 23 points. By the time the end of the third quarter came, they was only up 9. Then the whole fourth quarter, the Rockets tried to push it but couldn't get within 4. Now, Steph was just being Steph. The fucking shots he was hitting was just ridiculous. But you think at the plus minus, their plus, I was just looking at this and I had it in front of me a little while ago, but you're plus 14 when Jimmy Butler's on the court. Then you're plus 17. I call him Brandon Ski because I can't pronounce his last name. White boy lefty from Golden State. Plus 17 when he's on the floor is amazing. The only one who really did any type of damage for Houston was Şengün. He was giving them fits, and he had a great playoff debut, but no, he had 0 help. Van Fleet had 10. He just got 10. I think Dylan Brooks had 11. Besides that, no other Houston Rocket had double digits. Jalen Green he was at. He was missing. But that just goes to show the experience. Now, they're young and they're feisty, and we'll see what happens next game, especially they have a great coach. But this was just a team coming to make a statement. Before the game, I think they showed how many games the Golden State Warriors had in the playoffs. Their starting 5 against Houston's starting 5, and 3 of Houston's starting 5, that was their first playoff game. Steph had 172 playoff games. Jimmy Butler had like 100. It was crazy, the starting lineup with playoff experience versus the starting lineup for Houston with their playoff experience, and I think that was the factor today. Yeah, besides the outlandish shots Steph was hitting.
Yeah, and I think Golden State, this might be the best defensive Golden State team I've seen. And since they had like Sean Livingston and Iguodala, this team looked really good on defense. And I think that's what they're not getting the credit for against a team like the Rockets, because you got Amen that was not present. I think he had about 7 points or 8 points. Then you got Jalen Green only having 7. This speaks to the defense and attention to defense on this team. So when Draymond says something like, I think we could win it all, he might be on to something. I'm not ready to step out there, but if they could keep this defense up, they could really be dangerous.
After the game, to add on to that, when they were interviewing Jimmy Butler and they was asking him about it, he said, well, Steph's going to be the reason that we win it all. So he basically said the same thing that Draymond said a few months ago, that they're going to win everything, and that's what he said in his post-game interview.
Okay, so you guys have both given Ime Udoka credit for being a great coach, and the NBA award finalists have been revealed, which we'll get into the other categories throughout the week. But for Coach of the Year, basically the 3 finalists are Kenny Atkinson for the Cavs, JB Bickerstaff for the Pistons, and then Ime Udoka for the Rockets. Kind of curious on you guys' opinion. Would you lean more towards Ime Udoka, or you think another coach should kind of have that?
I think the coach from Cleveland definitely wins it. This Cleveland team came out of nowhere. I know that Detroit definitely came out of nowhere, but when you come out of nowhere and end up at the top, that got to be the greatest coaching job, especially when you got a white boy named Tyrone getting 30. This is amazing, and it speaks to the coaching. It speaks to the coaching and putting your players in the right position to be able to have these type of games, especially coming off the bench. And I know we're gonna get to that later, but that will be one of my reasons. I think when I seen the way that team was playing and how these role players are coming off the bench, getting 20, getting 15, getting 18. That speaks to the coach, because he's setting them up all year to say you're going to be the difference in the playoffs, and they all answered the bell.
For me, and I wouldn't be mad at Cleveland or Houston, but for me, it's Detroit's JB Bickerstaff. This is a coach that was actually coaching the Cleveland Cavaliers last year. Donovan Mitchell didn't want him there, gets fired. So you're sitting there, we're not saying that, different pieces, but you basically got a team with the same superstar, Donovan Mitchell, who was in the playoffs last year. Detroit was giving out chicken wings and movie tickets to come to the game. So this is a team who hasn't been to the playoffs since I don't know when the fuck when, as opposed to Houston been to the playoffs recently. New coach, of course. Cavaliers been to the playoff recently. But when you go from giving out chicken wings and french fries and tater tots just to come to the game when tickets are $1.72 to get in the stadium, to get in the number 6 seed, they didn't even go to the playoffs. I mean, the play-in. They're actually in the playoffs. I got to give it to JB Bickerstaff, but I'm not mad at any of these coaches being nominees.
Okay. So now you got to talk about this Thunder versus Grizzlies game because the Grizzlies got smacked 131-80. So OKC's 51-point win over the Grizzlies marks the fifth biggest margin of victory in NBA postseason history. Mase going to let you go first. I know it's just game one, but does this kind of diminish how you view the Grizzlies, or is it just game one?
Yeah, this game was disrespectful. I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that. When you talk about somebody like the Grizzlies, the lose by 50 is just uncalled for. I think it looked like a high school team varsity playing JV. It looked like JV wanted to play the varsity team. The coach said, "Okay, I'm gonna let y'all scrimmage on Friday." They've been talking wild crazy, and then they got against the team and lost like this. It's just everything I think is going wrong for the Grizzlies, and Ja got to do more than what he did this game, and especially I'm looking for Edie to show up. It's just this whole entire team. There's no way I thought that, even me and all the expert things people think they know, nobody had the Grizzlies losing by 50. Now, this is just uncalled for.
Yeah, listen, this game was over when it started. It was a blowout from beginning to end. When you're looking at the minutes, I watched the game, but then I just was like, had that shit on mute after they was up 40 points. But you're looking at I'm looking here at the minutes. Shai Gilgeous, Shai played 23 minutes. Chet played 21 minutes. J-Dub played 20 minutes. Harnstein, 20 minutes. The starting five, nobody played more than 23 minutes. They didn't even play 2 quarters. So that goes to show how quickly this game got out of hand early if the starting five didn't play a full 2 quarters. That just goes to show that. But I'm not going to take much of this game. Nobody, like Mase said, thought Memphis would lose by 50. I didn't expect them to win the first game. But you got to think about what Memphis just went through, and they put themselves in that position. When I say that, I'm talking about the fact that, listen, they fire their coach. When they fire their coach, they're in 4th place. Then they slide down, pause into the play-in. Then when you get in the play-in, you lose the first game. So you got to play another game the day after that against the Mavericks. So you lose one day, Golden State. Then you lose the day after that, the next day, 2 days later, the Dallas Mavericks. Then 2 days later, you got to play OKC. I think their schedule was tough, and don't get me wrong, it's the regular season is tough too. But this is fighting for your playoff life, their last 2 games, and now you go against the number 1 team in the NBA. Didn't expect them to lose by 50, but I didn't expect them to win either. We'll see what happens next game if Memphis comes back with a little. I don't think this was nothing but mental. Like I said, Ja Morant's a superstar. They have a decent team. What I will say is that it's new coaching. We don't know exactly what's going to happen with that. But I'm not going to take much of this game. But losing by 50 is definitely unacceptable. But they had a rigorous week.
Yeah.
I'll attribute it to that.
Yeah, and pause. They just look too small out there, for real. Just I know they added Scottie Pippen Jr. He been balling out, but they got to decide what they're gonna do with that team because that team is too small. Like when you got people out there looking like they're 6'2", 6'2", 6'3", and that's the entire wing. That's just too small to win a championship. I know Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars did that, but they was playing supreme defense. They didn't do it with that.
Okay. And then just to be clear, because you guys do kind of have opposing thoughts on that. So, Mase, you think it's more physical for the Grizzlies, which is their negative side. And then, Cam, you're saying it's more situational, coaching, kind of mental?
Well, what I'm saying is that, look, ain't no motherfucking secret OKC had the best record.
Right.
Yeah.
It ain't who the fuck been fucking with OKC. But to lose by 50, I think some of it is mental. Mason made some great points. They're playing a 3-guard offense.
Yeah.
So when you're playing a 3-guard offense in today's NBA, it's going to be tough because you got the 3 The average 3 is 6'7", 6'8". Maybe 6'6" if you're lucky. The 2 is 6, anywhere from 6'4" to 6'7". And then you got a point guard that's 6'2", maybe 6'3". So he's right. It's a 3-guard offense, and they're looking small. We just talked about Golden State. They look miniature to Houston.
Yeah.
They had Steven Adams out there, Shagun, pardon me. They look small. That's why I said I want to see the style and the offensive rebounds, because when I'm looking at them running the defense, talking about Golden State, every time me and Bezo watching this, Steph is down there in the paint, can't get no rebounds. Steven Adams shoving them around, Shagun shoving them around, but they were getting steals before it got to that, and and that's what attributed to it. So I'm not disagreeing with Mase. I kind of agree with Mase actually, but 50 points is mental. Memphis is better than a 50-point loss to Oklahoma City. Now I'm not saying Oklahoma City hasn't been dominating, but 50 points. Some of it is a little, I'm attributed, like I said, to the rigorous week they had trying to get in the playoffs. Because you think about it, sorry, Mase, last thing. Sorry about that. Because you think about it, we just seen the same thing, even though it's a seed lower. The 7 seed beat the 2 seed on their home court. Now, they ain't got no Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, no motherfucking Chet over there, nothing. But everybody, Houston's young, they gonna be running, they gonna no. Hey, they got the home court. Nah, niggas got smacked by the old niggas. Old niggas smacked niggas yesterday. Draymond 35, Jimmy Butler 35, Steph 37. Oh, Houston is young. Oh, they got the youngest team in the NBA. Didn't work. I'm just saying. Oklahoma City's young, but not to beat niggas by 50. Sorry, Mase.
No, that's right. And then when you talk about mental, you're absolutely right, because the mental determines what the physical is going to do. So when people pause or not playing well, it's because they're not thinking about it well. They're not approaching it well, and that's what comes in with the coach. If the coach is not focused, he doesn't have a game plan. This is his first time there. Everybody there is like discombobulated because they're looking for that continuity, and they don't have it. Now they're playing against this team that's OKC, but this is what 20 games better look like. When you won 68 games versus 48 games, this is what it looks like. It looks like 50 points.
New hotness can get pushed around too. We seeing it. So the Celtics beat the Magic 103-86 post-game. Jaylen Brown said, "We're just getting started. Today was my first game back after a while. It's the playoffs and it's the best time of the year, so I'm excited. This is what I live for. I'm feeling a lot better, moving a lot better, so I think that's great." Mase, how do you feel about the Celtics gameplay?
At first I thought the Magic could play with them. It was looking like they could play with them in some capacity. Ben Carroll showed up, but he was out there by himself. It was Ben Carroll versus the entire Celtic team, and it seems like the guard play and the Celtics are getting better. You know what I always talked about, after people win a championship, their confidence go to a new level. White looks like a new player from last year. And when I saw Pritchard put that move on them, I was just like, come on, man. Y'all letting anybody do anything right now. And you're just not going to win when you letting Pritchard go crazy, because you already got White crazy. You already got Tatum doing what he does. And then Jaylen Brown steps in. This Boston team look like they're going to try to repeat, unless somebody like Golden State have something to say about it. And again, they may be too small, but I could see OKC beating them, but this look like they're trying to repeat. I don't see nobody being a problem to them in the East Coast.
Yeah, I don't see a problem for them in the East Coast either. And you make some great points. You got to think about this. They both had 40 points in the same game. We're talking about Derek White and Pritchard in the regular season. And they both had a 40-piece in the same game. And they're your two highest scorers yesterday. You got Derek White with 30, and then Pritchard, I believe, had 19. Everybody else, the superstars took off. The superstars took off, and that's how deep poor Boston is, man. It ain't really much to say. Banchero was Banchero, but at the end of the day, Boston has a deep team, and they're very well coached as well. I didn't expect this to go any other way. I don't really have too much to say about it. This was what was supposed to happen, to be honest with you. But Derek White and Pritchard being them niggas, this is what happens. This is what happens when you have a full team. We're not talking about Porzingis. We're not talking about Jaylen Brown. We're not talking about Tatum. We're talking about Pritchard and Derek White being them niggas yesterday, and that's a problem for anybody playing the Boston, that is.
Yeah, so Cam, also to your point, like you said, Derek White had 30 points. Mace, going to let you go first. How do you feel about Derek White's role on the team? Because we're not seeing it from Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Other players can step it up if needed.
I think he always been like a real scrappy player and a real big moment player. And some players are like that. Like, they don't do all of the flashy stuff, but every time there's a big moment, they shine in that big moment. That's what he's starting to be like. So it seemed like when they selected him for Team USA, they knew something, because it's showing up even right now that when they're playing against the Orlando Magic, he shows up. When they won the championship, he was a major contributor. He's always been there when it's been a tough team, and this is why at first he was this person. If you think about it, he was coming off the bench. He went from coming off the bench to now you got to start him, and that speaks to his consistency and that his integrity as a basketball player. He's just not going. Some players are not going. They're not the best player. They don't have a 40-inch vertical. But like Killer was talking about earlier, it's the mentality. It's his mindset. He thinks he belongs there, so he belongs.
Yeah, look, ever since the nigga cut his hair off, he been killing. Nigga shit was back here, the nigga hairline was wild, he cut his shit off. Nigga been rocking. That's what he been doing. Salute to the nigga. Got to the Olympics after he cut his shit off, won a championship after he cut his shit off, and got the new contract, $124 million. Yeah, $124 million. Derek White this summer. Olympics, look, the thing about Derek White after he cut his hair off. Championship, Olympics, gold medal, $124 million, 3-year, 4-year option. Sometimes you got to lose certain shit to gain certain shit, man. That's what's been going on, man.
Not even mad at that take, because the amount of times you guys are like, maybe don't do the hair, maybe don't do the dyed colors.
He was holding on. He had the headband all the way back there.
Yeah, he cut that shit off. It's been sensational for him since he cut that shit off, man. Be like that sometime,
yeah. Shout out to the barber, man.
Yeah.
Gotta let your barbers do their role.
That's how I be, man.
Oh, gosh. Great points, guys. So we're going to move on to this Lakers game, because Lakers lose to Timberwolves 117-95 in game one. JJ Redick said, "It's not to say our guys weren't ready to withstand a playoff level basketball game. I'm not sure physically we were ready. And really, when the Timberwolves started playing with a lot of thrust and physicality, we just didn't respond to meet that." Mase, you know it's game one, but how do you feel about this response from JJ Redick? And then the Lakers lost.
Well, we were looking forward to see what this Laker team will look like in the playoffs. I'm not ready to say it's over for them, but I'm definitely concerned with this, because it looked like Minnesota came out and handled business. Like we're not buying into none of this Luka stuff. We're not buying into none of this LeBron stuff. And Ant-Man just went out there and just said, you know what? This is going to be our game. And if he keeps that up, I think this will be a heartbreaker for the Lakers to go out this early. I don't think they planned on going out this early, especially when they started gelling between Luka and LeBron. But, you know, it's playoff time. It's win or go home.
They go home, the Lakers. Sorry, B. Lakers go home. Them niggas look flabby and sick, like Pac said, man. Them niggas did not look good, my nigga. They look old. Luka young and he look old. When basketball players see Luka Doncic on defense, their eyes get wide, pause. They be like, oh, this nigga. I'm about to skate on this nigga because he's slow. Luka had 37. Pardon me. And look, we all know this, and everybody doesn't know this. For the people that don't know, Luka all-time playoff points is second behind Michael Jordan's playoff career average, which is amazing. It's Michael Jordan, Luka, and then Allen Iverson. But you have to play defense too. And Minnesota just looked like one of them motherfucking niggas who's on a mission, man. Their whole team from shit beginning to end, look really good. You know, you got experience with Mike Conley there. They was in the Western Conference Championship last year. You got the current sixth man of the year, Naz Reid. When Julius Randle is on the court and healthy, they are a problem. It took a while for them to gel. I'm talking about Minnesota because people want things to happen overnight. Julius Randle was hurt for a good portion of the season. DiVincenzo was hurt for a good portion of the season. But everybody's healthy now, and it looks like the motherfuckers are going to be a problem. And Ant-Man, after the game, was real humble. He wasn't talking shit. He was saying, and a lot of people don't know, he didn't say it in the interview, but come to find out his trainer has been sending him Michael Jordan clips he talked about recently of the 1991 finals when Michael Jordan had to dethrone Magic Johnson. And his trainer told him, you can't go around under or beneath pause. You have to go through pause the king to be the king. And this is your opportunity. You swept KD last year. You have an opportunity to send LeBron and Luka home this year, and we'll see what happens from there. But I think Ant-Man is embracing that. Because even in the post-game interview, the nigga got the loop earrings. The Jordan shit, nigga wearing loop earrings. I said, ooh, I ain't see a basketball player with the loop.
Nigga feeling himself.
Yeah, he got the loop. Niggas, that's Jordan shit. That's loop, that loop earring, that's Jordan. So to Ant-Man point, to his trainer's point, he's right. You got to dethrone these people that were your idols if you want to be these people one day. He's on a great track to do it, but I'm actually going to pick Minnesota to win this series. Now, they're not going to shoot 21 for 42 from three every game. Their three-pointers, it was looking like fucking NBA jams. Niggas couldn't miss. It was ridiculous. They're not going to do that every game. But if they stay healthy, they look way more physical, way more faster. You asking LeBron to fucking do an arm, fucking sweep the floor, clean the gym, turn the lights. The nigga's 40, B. He's 40, my nigga. Austin Reeves, you got to step the fuck up. You got to step up, bro. That's just that. I think them niggas this season, they're like 65, 70% wins when he averages over 20 points this year. The Lakers I'm talking about.
Whatever he has 16.
That's not 20. I said when he averages over 20, they win like 70% of the game.
I get what you're saying. They lost by 12. So if he have 20, they still lose by 8.
Say that again. If he had 20,
yeah,
but it's
the game changes.
It's an aggressive 20. Everything changes. But I dig what you're saying. If the 4 points to make the difference, or even 5, even over 20. But who knows? It didn't happen. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's a lot of shit. It could have been woulda, coulda, shoulda. It didn't happen. Maybe if he had 20, it may have been a different situation. But I don't think that Minnesota's going to shoot that good, but it didn't look like Lakers were doing good. Luka's too fucking slow. He's a liability on defense. Great offensive player. Defense, he is a liability. They're going to have to fix this and hide him on defense. We'll see what JJ Redick does. They're going to have to hide him. They do that with Steph Curry. They be hiding Steph Curry in defensive packages in different places so it don't look that bad when he can't go in there, because Steph Curry a lot of times is a liability on defense as well. What I don't like about what JJ Redick said, everything but blaming himself.
Yeah.
He wasn't ready. I'm not going to say they wasn't physically ready, but mentally. Where's I got to do better at?
Yeah.
Accountability.
I don't like that. Where's I got to do better? What happened to I got to do better? You're the head coach. You take the responsibility of losing just like you take the glory of winning. A little more accountability, JJ.
Okay.
Yeah, he definitely gotta be aggressively accountable, especially to be better as a coach, because that's something you do when you're trying to get better. If you start hiding in the wing of who's responsible, then the team gets stuck in growth. So when you're talking about even the Lakers, they have to get to this place where they hold Luka accountable to try to play D. Yeah, we know you can't play D, but at least try. Act like you're going to play D. Smack the floor. Put your hands out.
Oh, no, I ain't going to hold you, Murray. He looked like he trying, but he just slow as shit, man. I was like, because he looked like it. You know that's one of them joints where in case they go to the film room and they be like, yo, look, Luka. He like, nah, I'm trying. He had a bunch of them I'm trying joints, man.
He got to start playing the wings like he can see his man in the ball pauses, looking like he trying to play D. But this team, this Minnesota team, if they ever switch DiVincenzo to the starting lineup, they could really be dangerous out of the West because when you got Jaden McDaniels scoring 25, like you said, Julius Randle doing what he does, Rudy Gobert is going to change a few shots, and you got Ant-Man. So if they were to switch Mike Conley out, bring Mike Conley off the bench, this becomes a really dangerous team. But, you know, that's a part of knowing what to do and when to do it. Hopefully, as the season goes on in the playoffs, they'll make that change because that'll turn them into a championship contender. Because Mike Conley is going to be too small for Shea. It's just what it's going to be.
Yeah, I think right now, I think this is a perfect lineup because it gives them depth off the bench. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of teams, that's the Knicks going problem. Even though we're going to get to that, Cameron Payne had a great game, but you're going to need some depth. That's one thing that OKC has too. You got 8 players playing, 9 players playing, and to your point, Mike Conley. He definitely has playoff experience, but you know if he ain't doing good, you bring him out. You know it's and I don't disagree with you. I think DiVincenzo is definitely capable of starting, but we seen year after year after year, Manu Ginobili sacrifice for the team. Mm-hmm. Sit down and they won them championships because there's a bunch of years Manu Ginobili should have been starting, but for the sake of the championships, he came off the bench. Now let's slow our fucking roll. Me personally. Trying to compare DiVincenzo to Manu Ginobili, he got a long way to go before we compare nigga to Manu. Let's not lose concept of who Manu is. But I'm just giving that kind of scenario. We'll see what happens though.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I agree with you because it's just like they switch. Who was that? Nas Reed, who used to start for them. They switched him out, brought him off the bench. He get 23. The guy they put in for him, Jaden McDaniels, he get 25. So that's what I'm talking about. They make that change. You might get a different DiVincenzo because right now you're just getting 9 from him as a off the bench, and then you're getting 9 from Mike Conley as a starter. You switch that out, Mike Conley come in and get 16 because now he knows when he comes in, look for your shot because everybody else is already balling.
Okay, so Cam stamped it. He basically said this might be the time Ant-Man dethrones the king. He sees Minnesota potentially winning this series. Mase, gotta ask you, because last time I checked, the Lakers was your team. Do you see the Lakers winning this series, or do you see the Timberwolves winning this series?
I think the Lakers still could win it. It's just this next game is definitely going to determine that. If they could win this next game, they could still win this series. But if they get down 2-0, it's just going to be impossible, you know. Not impossible, but very much close to being impossible. I think this Minnesota team, if they beat the Lakers, they have the best chance out of all the teams, I think, in really beating the Celtics. I don't think OKC could beat them. I think if there's any team that really will beat them convincingly, I think it will be this team because Ant-Man will get up for them.
And then want to know your thoughts on that.
Nah, Stat, I really like that question because Mase just ducked it. Is that still your team?
It's my team, man.
Nick, save this right here, please. Just save
That's why I asked
save it right here. Yeah. Save it right now
Nick,
today.
Those who
please.
know don't say, and those who say don't know.
Yeah, thanks, Stat, for a refresher. Because who
nice
knows who's his team year to year, well, day to day, actually, hour to hour.
Man.
Titletown keeps moving by the hour. So
we're having a meeting, you know.
So I just want thanks for reminding me, Stat, because I actually forgot. Now, what was the exact question?
Yeah, basically, so to Mace's point, he was saying on the West, the Timberwolves have the best chance at beating the Celtics, basically.
Yeah.
So what's your opinion on that?
That's tough. I mean, I swear to God, driving here, Bezo asked me who do I think is going to the championship, and I actually said if we're going off one game, we're going off one game from everybody who's actually played one game. I like Minnesota in the West the most. Now, I just said that, but I don't know because look, man, we still got to get to these games. That fucking Clippers and Denver game is going to be fucking crazy. The fucking we'll see what happens with Memphis. I'm not going to write Memphis off just yet. I'm not saying they're going to win the series, but come on, Memphis. Come on, let's get us 6 games at least. But if we're going off one game, yeah, I got to go with Minnesota off one game. I really like the Clippers, which we'll talk about in a minute, but when you got fucking Ben Simmons out there, Ty Lue.
You blaming it on Ben?
I'm blaming Ty Lue for having him out there. Now, listen, I did it. That's one of them joints. Look, we'll talk about it. We'll get to the game. We'll get to it.
Yep, and that's the next game. Clippers versus Nuggets. What player specifically is going to have to step it up? We will discuss after the break.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. My stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free.
Welcome back. So the Clippers lost 112-110 in overtime to the Nuggets. Mase, what are your thoughts on this series? And then who do you think specifically is going to have to step it up?
I think this was a marvelous game, but I know there's different people that folks would say need to step up, but the person I think people don't bring up is Michael Porter Jr. Like, even though Denver wins this game, it could be an easier game if he shows up. I think he had about 3 points, and then you got, Ty Lue putting Chris Dunn out there. I like Chris Dunn, but this is not the time for that. You're playing against Jamal Murray. You better get somebody in there that's actually gonna hold him responsible on offense, because sometimes people just throw guards in there that could play good D, Bezo, but just playing good defense doesn't wear personnel pause if they don't have to play offense. They don't have to guard you on offense. So I think that's the thing that really hurt them in a sense. If he was playing against somebody that Jamal Murray had to guard, it could have went a different way. So, but I wasn't surprised by Harden. I wasn't surprised by this Clipper team at all. They got some really good pieces, and they got some players that people have forgotten about. Even got a good shooter that came there from Atlanta. So this is a pretty strong team, and this is the most exciting series to me. And out of all of the playoff games.
Yeah, listen. The person who has to step up the most, I think, is Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard, the last 2 games, because this is the first game I'm talking about before the season ended, disappeared in the fourth quarter in the last couple games. He's been playing sensational since he got back, but he's leaving the fourth quarters and overtimes to James Harden. I believe he had 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter or overtime. Whatever it was ridiculous. Even one play, he let Russell Westbrook hit it out his hand and bounced off his body. They get the ball. Talking about the Nuggets. Kawhi Leonard had a bunch of open looks in the fourth, and I don't know exactly what happened to him in the fourth quarter of the last couple games. James Harden is there the ball. It was to the point where James Harden looked at Kawhi Leonard and said, shoot the ball. Shoot. Hold on, you Kawhi, right? Shoot, nigga. And it ain't like Kawhi hasn't been in clutch situations. I think just he's overthinking in certain situations where you don't overthink. You're an assassin. You're a quiet assassin. You're a hitman for hire. You sent Joel Embiid home crying. You won Canada a championship. You did it for the Spurs. You attack, nigga. Attack. Pause. That's what they want you. That's what they brought you there to do years ago. And I think this is a great opportunity. I disagree with Mase. I think Dunn is doing really well. I understand what he's saying, but if you look at the roster for the Clippers, they don't really have a deep bench. They got a good 7-8 that they're playing. Ben Simmons is part of the 7 or 8. So you really got 7 or 6. You get what I'm saying? This is what you're dealing with when you're Ty Lue. Zubrick is not that bad. I think he did a decent job. I think this like Mase, I think this is the best series for the first round. They had an opportunity to win this. But Joker's playing and Joker's coaching. Back to Michael Porter Jr. Something's going on where I don't know exactly what it is because I know it ain't the coach. I know Joker got everybody on the floor he wants to have on the floor. Michael Porter Jr. didn't play in the fourth quarter. He played maybe 2 minutes. He didn't play the whole fourth quarter. And I was looking, I'm like, damn, they got Russ out there. They got the Russ and Braun over here. Joker ain't feeling it. Anything that ain't going on the court is what Joker says, man. That coach looks like a 3-1 to me. When he looks in, he's glazing Joker, not in a bad way, not the way niggas saying, but like looking at him talking like, okay, this is what we doing? This is what we doing? Okay, yeah, that's what we're doing. I don't even want to hear him in the post game. I've seen him at the post game. I'm talking about the coach. Stop talking about the schemes and what you thought to do and everything. Joker's running the show. And Michael Porter Jr. not playing in the fourth quarter, that was a sign of something that the Joker doesn't like. But I think this is going to be a great series, but it's going to be really hard when you only have 7 players and Kawhi's not stepping up in the fourth.
Yeah, they had 20 turnovers. And when you playing a team that only got about 10 turnovers and you got double the turnovers, you're just not gonna win. So that's what I was speaking to. Like when you got this Clippers team, it's too many supreme ball handlers and people that can get shots to be getting 20 turnovers. You guys shouldn't be passing that much. Everybody that I'm talking about are scorers, so it make no sense getting 20 turnovers.
Yeah, and my last thing real quick is that Norman Powell had a sensational season to the point where he probably should have been an all-star this season. Absolutely, definitely. Matter of fact, should have been an all-star. He had a subpar game as well. So I expect him to step up also. So we'll see what Norman Powell brings to the table because he's a key component as well to this Clipper team. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, and then I want to bring this up, not even to be funny, but I just want to look at the facts. So obviously, we know Ben Simmons did have some injuries. Just looking at his stats over the past couple of games, so versus the Nuggets,
don't start.
We got to address it. Okay,
leave Ben Simmons alone.
Hey, he's a player. We got to talk about it. Okay, versus the Nuggets, 13 minutes, 0 points. Warriors, 11 minutes, 0 points. Kings, 12 minutes, 0 points. Didn't play versus the Rockets. Spurs, 15 minutes, 0 points. Mavs, 12 minutes, 2 points. Comes to a point, right? He has a roster spot. What do you think is his future? Because I know he's had a lot of injuries, but it's like, what is the expectation?
This is where Cam was speaking about when he said it's mental. It gotta be mental. Ben Simmons is pause. He has the frame to be a superstar. He has the ability to be a superstar. He have the talent to be a superstar, but he's just not a superstar because of something that's going on in his head. I don't even know. He definitely need a counselor or something that could really help him sort through his thoughts because it is. I've never seen somebody fall off this fast without an injury. Like normally when somebody goes to this point, it's like they had a freak injury and tore their meniscus or, something crazy happened, a car accident. But I've never seen somebody that was just all everything. Just, you got to remember him at the Sixers. We thought he was going to be the first 6'10" point guard that ruled the NBA, thinking he was going in the LeBron direction. And then to think that we're here is crazy. You definitely got to get the right counselor. Because if we're talking about this, I can only imagine the thoughts that are going through his head.
Yo, you know what's crazy, murder? We really might be the same nigga. I just had this convo with my barber. The same convo, because he like tried to write Ben Simmons. No, I'm like, niggas is forgetting what Ben Simmons is a 3-time All-Star, bro. Came out of LSU. Everybody like he gonna be the next one. Niggas thought that the Sixers was about to go. They was like, yo, he get a little bit of a jump shot. It's over, bro. We just had this conversation, bro. So I swear to God, about right before the show, I just told this nigga, because I was like, yo, niggas be forgetting yesterday. Niggas cannot remember last night. Ben Simmons was on the verge of being that next LeBron, they said, if he got anywhere from a mid-range game jump shot, bro. Anything, B. So at the end of the day, man, listen, I have no idea, but them stat just read is wow. I think personally these minutes, because you know why, Murder? He scored one of them games. What game was that? He had 2 or 4, son?
Mavs.
Whatever it was. I seen that game when he scored. And the team acts like it's a holiday. Yo, he did, yo, man. Yeah, they all ran up to him. James Harden, yeah. The niggas scored and niggas is celebrating. Where are we to the point why we are celebrating Ben Simmons scoring 2 or 4 points till the team is excited? And then it's one of them situations, I don't know this for a fact, but it's one of them situations where a nigga like Ty Lue might have been like, nah, bring him. I know what to do with him. I know, I got him. I've been through, I know a player like this.
Yeah, bring him to the club.
I got him. You don't got him, Ty. You don't have him. I don't know what it is, but it's not working there neither. And I don't want to jinx, I don't want to say the wrong thing or accuse him of anything. But he said he has some mental health issues when he's with the Sixers. Yeah. Maybe he was, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if his mental health off the court, who knows? I don't want to say the wrong thing, but maybe this is attributing to what his play is like. Or if he wasn't telling the truth, maybe he cursed himself. I don't know.
Well, whatever it is, hope he figures it out because
why you hope he figure it out? Why
I
you
always
care?
Want the best in everybody. Okay, I just hope he can play.
So, Killer,
well
you think
I don't know what's going on.
You think he was playing around? He could have been playing around and it became serious.
That's what you curse yourself when you just calm and sometimes. I don't know if that's
like
true.
You said, I was 6 yesterday. That's why I ain't come in. Now you sick.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm not accusing him of that, but he didn't have no mental health issues in the past leading up to this that we ever heard about. And then
when he was All-Star, did he have mental issues?
I never heard of the mental health issues when he was an All-Star. That's my point. But when shit going bad, and not only that, he wanted to get off the Sixers. You got to remember, he was on the Sixers. He was playing with a cell phone in sweatpants, dropped it. Doc sent him home from practice and all that. It was wild, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the mental health shit came out of nowhere when he started playing bad. It wasn't there when he was playing good. So I don't want to accuse him of saying that he wasn't really going through issues, but that it wasn't talked about when he was playing well.
You think, Stat, he wanted to play well so bad that when he stopped playing bad, that broke him down mentally?
I don't know what's going on with the man. Again, hope he feels better and starts playing better. That's all I want to see. I just want the best for everybody, and it's sad to see. Too long to not be playing good. That's that. But hey, that's somebody's favorite player, hoping that he figures it out. Okay, so game 2 tonight, Clippers versus Nuggets. Underdog has James Harden at 23.5 points. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
I'm going higher.
Definitely higher. James in his bag, yo. Let's Houston Rocket James. And you know why I fuck with James? Because James is trying to be like, I'll kill these niggas, but Kawhi, let's get on some Jordan Pimpin shit. Kawhi in fourth quarter keep disappearing and shit. He going higher. James Harden in his bag right now. Definitely higher.
Okay, Kawhi's at 6.5 rebounds. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
I'm going to go high.
Yeah, high.
Okay, and Jokic is at 49.5 points, rebounds, and assists. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase? 49.5.
I mean, Joker, go higher. Joker could do anything right now. Pause.
Okay.
What's the
49.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Jokic.
Yeah. Regular day at the
Yeah, that's tough, man.
They got 51, 20, and 20. So
yeah, this is why Underdog do this. They got this shit right on on the cusp because last game, he was an assist away from a triple-double.
Mm-hmm.
He had right under that number, he had about a total of 48, 47. We'll go higher.
Okay. Make sure y'all download the Underdog app and you can make your picks too. Y'all know we got to talk about the Knicks. They beat the Pistons 123-112. Mase, is this game one enough for you to trust them, or do you think the Pistons are going to get their lick back game two?
I got a Nick Kiff jacket, but that ain't enough for me to go with the Knicks. I'm gonna just tell the truth. Like, the Knicks is gonna let you down. I don't know what's gonna happen. A cat's gonna run across the court. Something is gonna happen to make this New York team just not end up in the Eastern Conference. I mean, will they win this series? They should, but I don't put my money on New York teams. I just don't. It's just not something you do.
It's just not smart.
It's always NY, which stands for next year. It's always next year, you know? So I think Detroit gets their leg back. Detroit ends up beating them. And I think it goes 7 games. I definitely think it goes 7 games. But I'm not sure if they win it. I think if they win it, they definitely don't win the next round. And I want to like the Knicks, but I think they're a piece away. They're one piece away from being a team I could stand with them with my Knick hat on and put my hand up like this. Last time I liked the Knicks, they had Trent Tucker.
Yeah, that was in the 80s too. Bernard King, Trent Tucker.
Jackson was a
Mark
rookie.
Jackson, yeah. You ain't even go Mason and Oakley and them niggas. Niggas said all that, man. Word. So.
Mark had to pass like this.
Yeah,
That was back when I liked the Knicks.
Look, you know what's crazy?
Squad.
You know what's crazy is that before the game came on, Sin, I was on the phone with Sin, I bet him $5. He didn't want to bet more than $5. I said, I bet you the 5. So
if it's his team, why he only wanted to do 5?
Who knows? I just took the bet because we was on the phone. I bet him $5. So I said, you want how much they gonna win by? He said 11. He said 12. Whatever he said, they won by that number. So I just said, you want to bet they gonna win by that? He didn't want to bet that. So when the game was over, I was doing something. I was in the middle of something when the game was over. So I see he missed his call, but then he called Bezo telling niggas I'm a sore loser. Yo, Detroit's not my team. Like, he's like, yo, this nigga tell Cam's a sore loser. He don't pick the phone up. I'm like, bro, I'm not gonna. Detroit's not my team. But what I said to Bezo, I said, good. If Sin wants to go around telling people that, I'm gonna act like the sore loser that I am. I'm not that you think that I am. I'm really Detroit. My team is the Spurs. My team is the Spurs. We're not in the playoffs. We haven't been in a minute. I don't care if Detroit wins. I like Detroit as a team. I'm just saying it's not my team. So he's like, oh, y'all niggas, you just sore loser time B. Sin, you want to see sore loser? Bet. I don't even know why you talk about me when I'm not looking. It doesn't make sense to do it. I would keep it inside to myself instead of telling people stuff. Because if this is what you want to do, cool.
Bet.
I bet. Bet. We'll speak when we speak. Who knows when that'll be.
You know what niggas say, bet. The petty levels are escalating.
Like, bro, he going around calling niggas, I'm a sore loser. That was $5, man. Then he thinks he won the bet because you said I was 6'1". And I'm like, I don't know why I don't want to be 6'1". I don't know what's the problem. I'm 5'11" with my shoes on. He's like, Mase said he knew you since you was 4 years old. 6'1". I said, all right, man, forget it. So the point being is, it's crazy. Yeah, you know what, Sin? You enjoy your next couple weeks being right and winning, and I'll talk to you soon. We'll see how that goes. But as far as the Knicks, look, the Knicks was on the ropes this whole game, and the inexperience showed in the fourth quarter. A 21-0 run. 21-0 run is what happened to Detroit. And it just looked like a bunch of little kids that couldn't handle a run. And that's what happened. The inexperience absolutely showed. And the experience on the Knicks showed that they've been in this position before. So it was a great comeback for the win for the Knicks. You know, New Yorkers are always going to go crazy. Them niggas is losing their mind like they won a championship. You know, murder niggas, I see niggas doing interviews after the game talking about, we just 15 away. He said it wasn't about tonight. We 15 games away. That's all it is right now. This is where the New York's mentality is.
You 15 away.
Niggas said we should 15 away.
Yeah.
Actually, my nigga Josh, Stephen A. nephew, was talking in a bar saying, "No, it ain't about tonight. We just 15 games away, and we're gonna win." Look, good luck.
He's 7 away. He's 7 away.
Yeah,
3 away.
yeah. Listen, right, murder. The thing about it is this: if they win, right, and I don't know who's gonna win this series. Detroit looks really good. They played good for 3 quarters, and the Knicks they had a total collapse. The thing about it is, if they win this series, they play Boston the next round. Then the thing about if they play Boston the next round, they lost last year in the second round. So my thing for New York Knicks fans is this. If you don't get to the Eastern Conference Championship this year, the season is not successful because you lost last year in the second round. And the year before that, you lost probably in the first round. Then the year before that, you lost in the first when Trae Young came in there. You don't make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, and Boston's in your way. So if you do win this series, which I don't know yet, it's still up for grabs as far as I'm concerned, because I think Detroit just collapsed. But it's going to be a problem next round. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, that's why I told them they 3 away. They ain't going past Boston. They going home.
Yeah.
Okay, so last thing before we wrap. So it was actually reported the Pistons have restricted fans, specifically Knicks fans, from buying tickets to their home games versus the Knicks. So those purchasing tickets to games 3, 4, and 6 in Detroit will need to use a credit card with a billing address located in Michigan or parts of Ohio, Indiana, and Ontario. So what do you think of this policy?
So they're making sure people can't buy Detroit tickets.
Like, they don't want Knicks fans.
Taking the Detroit tickets.
Yeah.
They want home court advantage because they know New York will show up and it'll be orange all over the arena and then that will be a problem. So they already lost one game. They doing what they supposed to do. Tighten up, you know? Yeah, that's what they need to do in Detroit. Because I had Detroit kind of making this a tough series. So they definitely can't go down 2-0 and then get down 3-0 because then it starts getting crazy. So, and New York confidence will be on an all-time high. So go to Detroit, get the tickets. All you guys out there in Detroit, buy up a bunch of tickets, show up for the Detroit Pistons. Just last year, like Killer said, y'all was selling wings. This is time to support your team and make sure they win this next game. Because if you don't, you know the Knicks are going to get carried away. And all Knicks fans are going to get carried away. Niggas might start wearing Knick fitteds again, throw away their Yankee hats. New York does stuff like that. They'll throw the Yankee away and start wearing Knick hat.
They will. My opinion, this is some real sucker shit. Word to mother, this is some wild sucker shit, Detroit, for real. You mean to tell me y'all niggas gotta have Indiana, Detroit, or what was it, Ohio?
Michigan, parts of Ohio,
Michigan, Ontario.
What if somebody from Seattle want to buy the tickets? They can't buy the tickets. They're from Nebraska. These the only 3 surrounding states outside that could buy tickets.
Yeah, you might buy the tickets and give it to the New York niggas.
The point being is so way. Y'all gotta see, do you know what happened? This all happened last year when the New York niggas went to Philly and niggas out fucking cheered for the Knicks more than the Philly crowd. Yo, my nigga, this is wild sucker shit. I know us New York niggas go everywhere. It's a New York nigga in every motherfucking city. Every time I go somewhere, it is a New York nigga. Every city I go to, I bump into a New York nigga. I get it. But this is wild whack, yo. This means that you don't think the city's going to support. You know what? This is what I'm talking about winning with the city of Detroit. Y'all have a great fan base when y'all are winning. The Lions just proved that. And I know it's been a while since y'all won, so you don't know what the basketball fan base is. But to tell niggas they can only be from these areas and you can't buy a ticket to the game, that seemed like scared pussy shit to me, man. Not on no fighting shit, on some, yo, we don't want them niggas cheering louder than we got, because they know them New York niggas. That's what I will give us niggas. We will go anywhere. We definitely will go anywhere. And you know what a lot of niggas don't know? Is the places where they go to try to act New Yorkish is worse than New York. New York niggas, be careful. You might feel it. Detroit's not Philly. It's not a drive away. It's not an hour and 30 minutes. It's a 10-hour drive. Be careful up there. And then anyway, they not letting us in anyway. I don't like it. I think that shit is wild whack, and that's some sucker shit. Like Murder just said, y'all niggas was just selling chips and wings for $1.35. Y'all better take whatever ticket buys y'all can get, man. That shit is whack.
True. Well, game 2 is tonight. We will see who fills up the arena. And I just feel like New York fans, if they want to be there, they're going to find a way to be there regardless. But that is all the time that we have for today. Thank y'all for watching. And as always, it is what it is.
What you want, nigga? Everything, nigga, super size. Two Big Macs, like when they doing them 2 for $5.